The Art of Relationships radio show is copyrighted. No one is to use any part of the show without express written consent from myself, Greg Dzinski, or the Art of Relationships. Thank you.
Welcome to the Art of Relationships radio show. Greg welcomes live calls from listeners in helping with numerous marital and relationship problems. There will be no more tit-for-tat arguments. Greg gets to the root of couples' challenges in a rapid, matter-of-fact format, plus applies compassion and humor. Join in discovering how to improve your relationship and your own life. Listen, laugh, and climax. Greg is a licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan. To others, he's simply known as Detroit's Love Guru.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is the Art of Relationships radio show, and I am your host as always, Greg Dzinski, Detroit's Love Guru, relationship and sex specialist, a licensed professional counselor, as I mentioned, in the state of Michigan, okay? Now, I want to have a little fun with this show tonight, and it's going to be also, as always, educational, or at least I'm hoping. Sophia's in the house. Welcome. You can join in. Please share the live video. Going to be live for about an hour. So share it. Get more people joining in, more fun, more questions. And also, give me a call. If you're not too shy, give me a call at 313-614-9498 with your questions. Or you can enter them below, as always, in the discussion below the live video feed, okay? And check out my website, as always, theartofrelationships.org. Again, you know, like I said, my essence, my passion is helping you have the relationship you crave, and also for those single people out there to feel better about themselves, and also to look more maybe wide open as far as what they want in a relationship, and also to look at, you know, what is healthy in a relationship for them. What is the essence that they want and they desire? No. Again, right? As always, nothing is perfect. So don't go into a relationship, everything's perfect, whatever. The trick is, or the master aspect is, try to look at how do you handle differences, how do you handle disagreements without losing your mind. Now, you know, we're talking disagreements. We're not talking one wants a child, the other one doesn't want a child. You know what? Unfortunately, that's probably not going to work. Those are, like I said, crucial elements that aren't going to work. Now, tonight's show, we're going to talk about sex. I talked about sexual trauma and the heartache and the sensory aspects, you know, involving that last week. But today, going to have a little bit of fun and jazz it up a little bit and talk about sex. What are you thinking about during sex? And there are some things that are common, and people know I'm going to contradict myself here when I say I don't buy into a lot of stereotypes. But this thing, when it comes to sex, what happens? Do women think about, you know, a lot of things? What do they think about? And what do men think about? And there is a common theme when it comes to these dynamics. And I want you maybe to let that sink in a little bit and also look at, you know what do you think those are? And you can enter those discussions, you know, below, or, you know, call me. And as always, don't have to stay with the topic of the show of tonight, but I want you to be able to look at, you know what, ask me a question. Whatever I can do to help you out in your life, in your relationship, ask away, okay? Doesn't have to do with the topic, tonight's topic of the show, about sex. What do you think during sex? Are you thinking about your eyes rolling in the back of your head, or about your toes curling? Or about women, are you thinking about, oh my God, maybe I'm so wet, maybe I'm too wet, maybe did I shower? You know, all these things go through maybe our minds, and I want you to enjoy the sexual activity, enjoy the emotional connection that sex brings, if you're into that. Some women, some men aren't into the emotional connection. They want the physical pleasure. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's not for me. I want the emotional connection, but I don't judge. I'm all about what makes you happy. So think about those aspects. Hey, Cynthia's in the house. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, she's saying. Stacy's in the house. Danielle is in the house. Woo, welcome. So, you know, what are those things? I want to know. Oh, Cynthia would be a good one. She's in discussion board now. what are you thinking during sex? Are you doing, just nail me, just pound me? What are you thinking about? And, men might be thinking about this common theme, and I get this not over the years, what men think about. And a lot of women don't realize this. We're thinking about how, you look. If we see a wrinkle here, maybe a little stretch mark here, or a little chubby roll here. A lot of men, to be honest with you, aren't even thinking about this at all. You know what? They're thinking about something else. So we're going to hit on, maybe those stereotypes. But I want you to give a little bit of, thought behind it. Take a few minutes to look at those aspects and, look at those aspects. Okay. Someone just mentioned, I'm not going to mention name because she is a new viewer, listener to the show. So welcome. And she mentioned, Sophia, why did you invite me here? And she's laughing, whatever, a little funny symbol, which is cool. Well, welcome. I'm not going to mention your name unless you give me permission. But Sophia, thank you so much for showing and inviting a lot of people here, which is cool. I want to help you learn about yourself, learn about your relationship, and what it helps to make it healthy for you, make it happier, make it more passionate, more lively as I get my sleeves going here. I only had a couple minutes to get ready for the show, actually about 2 minutes before my last couple just left. So I might be a little razzled, but that's nothing new, right, people? So what do you think women think about during sex, during making love, during knocking boots? And what do you think out there that men think or are thinking about during sex, maybe before sex? And looking at the elements to, what drives you, not only wow, and I want to, can you focus on you two? Can you focus on the connection? Can you focus on feeling good physically and emotionally during sex, okay? And it doesn't matter what position, if you're doing doggy style, freaking reverse cowgirl ladies, woohoo, giddy up girl. But you also look at, whatever, missionary style, doesn't matter. What do you focus on? And how many women out there, I want to look at, the elements to where, what do you think men focus on during sex? Yeah, I'm going to knock that. I'm going to spank that ass. Not always, maybe, but not always. But you look at those elements to where, believe it or not, men are thinking about, majority of men, not all, because we have some selfish people out there, to look at the elements to where men are thinking about performance, believe it or not. A lot of men with their sexual insecurities, and even during sex, oh my God, am I doing it right? Is she loving this? Is she, we love hearing, women that are in ecstasy, that are, maybe I'm just speaking for me, but you look at the elements to where, you know what? That, we want them pleased. We love it when they just moan in ecstasy and they frickin' yell and scream and all this stuff, that they're enjoying themselves. And as always, I've said this numerous times, people, women, never ever fake your orgasm. Plain and simple. Never ever fake it, okay? And I'll get into that in a second. So, men are looking at performance aspects. Am I doing it right? Am I big enough? Am I lasting long enough? You know what? Is she loving this? Am I, it's basically performance based. Not all men. Like I said, there's some arrogant, narcissistic men. It's all about them. They could care less about their partners. And maybe you women out there can attest to that you've been with some people like this, okay? Now going back, I think it's both. During the moment, it's about the pleasure. After the fact, it is the emotional connection. Oh, you know what? Actually, I love that comment. Can you have both, though? I'm going to ask, the viewer or listener that mentioned that comment, can you have, I like that, that's awesome. Can you have both? Can you have the emotional connection and the physical pleasure? Can you have those both during the act? Not just after or even before the act. Can you have those both, the emotional connection and the physical pleasure during both? And I say, yes, you can. I love that. I want that. It is possible. And again, this is a very subjective topic. Everybody is different. It's not, all men, all women, whatever. There are, and I'm going to get into that in a bit, But with men focusing on performance and all those aspects, pleasing a woman, whatever, I want I want women to understand this and whatever. How can you help quiet the man down? And I also want the men to look at how can you get rid of those thoughts and just enjoy it and get engulfed, get lost in the moments, okay? That is huge. So, I do think, it is about the pleasure. Again, it's very subjective. Some people just focus on the pleasure, and this is men, women, doesn't matter. Can you focus on the pleasure and at the same time focus on the emotional connection, the soulfulness, what each other feels, all that aspect. And this is part of when you can, not doing doggy style, you'll break your neck, but when you are able, when you're making love, having sex, that you're able to stare at each other in the eyes and you feel the soulfulness in each other and the love you have for each other, and also at the same time you feel the physical pleasure. That's when you stare at each other and you just hit something just right, and she or he goes, oh my God, right? And it just turns you on even more. That's part of the physical and the emotional, the soulfulness of making love and the sex that comes from there. So that is huge. So I think, yes, you can have both. Can you have both all the time? No, right? Can you? There's people out there that can. I'm all about that, right? But can you also, focus on physical pleasure? Do you have to have both all the time? At the same time, I mean, no, not at all. So I think it's crucial to get that sort of squared away and what works for you. And there's some people that, you hear friends with benefit, they're all about the physical pleasure, not the emotional connection. But I don't think that is going to last long term, right? You can be friends with benefits, but there's going to be one of you is going to get more emotionally connected. So I think to have a holistic view, or more the best sex you can have, you have both the pleasure, you focus on the pleasure and the emotional connection, at the same time. You can do both, okay? Sophia, you mentioned to see what you'd say, LOL, about your inviting your friend. I don't get enough of you. So you invite your friend on there. Okay, cool. So, so men focus primarily on performance aspects, and I help men. Trevor's in the house, woohoo! Welcome. So you look at the elements to where I think sometimes it's great for the woman to take control. Let him just lay back. Hell yeah. You know what? I tell people all the time, I want the woman to take charge. I love a woman that I'm with, or in the future, that, take charge. Treat me like the slut that I am and just, have your way with me. Can you do that? But is that both, Treva? I'm going to ask you, does that have to do with physical pleasure, or does that have to do with the emotional cravings that you want for each other? See? It can be both, right? For the guy to feel like you want us craved. You crave us, you desire us, you want to take us. Just like it is for you, it makes us feel great. So that is emotional connection. That's the emotional pleasure big time, right? And also the physical pleasure you can engulf in that, okay? So going backtracking a little bit, men, you know what? You need to calm your head down and just focus on your love, your lover, your partner, whatever. And I get, with performance issues with a lot of men in here, which I'm going to tell you that I deal with a lot of it, they're worried about, am I big enough? Am I lasting long enough? Am I pleasing her? A lot of men do. Most men do care. They want to please their ladies, okay? I'm super all about that, okay? And I promote that with men. And a lot of times, during foreplay, they're hard to go limp because of these performance anxiety type aspects where, you're so focused on, your performance aspect that it kills the mood. It creates performance aspects, that maybe you lose your erection, or maybe part of it is, the other aspect is the premature or early ejaculation. So, to focus on that, I tell guys to help with those aspects, okay? What I do to try to help those people is to look at, the focus on your partner, okay? To do what you can, to focus on your partner, and that's going to help. It's going to take the pressure off of you. You focus on what she feels. You focus on eye-to-eye contact, and it's going to take the pressure off of you that you focus on what she feels, what the silkiness, the softness of her skin. You know what? Maybe her nipples, her breasts, whatever, that you focus on her face, her smile, her facial expressions. By doing that and putting that emotional connection on her, it's going to help take the pressure off of you, okay? So men and women, you need to look at those elements, okay? To be able to, you know what, maybe, you know, guys do care that they want to please you, and how can you talk about those aspects outside of the bedroom, right? So they don't be brought into the bedroom, if you know what I mean. You don't want to focus on all those aspects. Now, if you're worried about your guy, you know, that he's worried about performance and pleasing you and all this aspect, can you guide your man? Yeah, I know, I'm all about, you can guide him how you want to be touched and licked and all that stuff. Oop, did I just say that? Yes, I did. But not only that you focus, here I am, focus on me. I want to feel you emotionally. I want to feel you breathe. I want to feel your heart. And that's going to help him sort of relax a little bit, okay? And be able to be focused on those elements to where, you know, to be focused on those aspects. I got people messaging me on Messenger, clients and stuff, so I'm trying to ignore them, sorry. But looking at those elements to where, can you focus on that, okay? Now, looking at the performance aspect, a lot of men. Now, I want to look at the women. What do you think about, okay? I'm going to give that. What do you think about during sex? What is the most thing maybe women think about during sex? And don't tell me Brad Pitt. Don't tell me frickin' Charlie Hoffman, whatever he is from Sons of Anarchy. Don't tell... yeah, I know women, right? Yeah, you do that, don't you? Don't think of, you know, your favorite actress, you know, frickin' your favorite singer, rock star, whatever. I want to know what you're fearful of, and what is blocking you from enjoying sex on the emotional level and a physical level. And I want to hear your comments, or I want to hear, why don't some of you people give me a call at 313-614-9498, and maybe you'd be brave enough, you know what, maybe you don't even look about that. I'm not going to use your name on the air unless you give me permission. But to look at, you know, I shouldn't say but outside, and I said it again, outside of those elements, you know, I'm not going to use your name. However, it might be beneficial to your other female viewers out there listening to the show, okay? It could be very beneficial. So, I want you to throw some comments out there, ladies, and what do you think about during sex? You know, other than, is it just, you know, just bang me, just, you know, spank me, oh my God, drive me, pound me, whatever it is. Those aspects, whatever. Kira's in the house, woohoo! Former student, welcome, yeah, baby. So you look at another one. My husband focuses on my pleasure, and I can honestly sure say I'm the more selfish one. You know what? You can be selfish all you want. You know what? That's great. He focuses on your pleasure. That's great. But can you flip that script around and focus on him once in a while? And I you know, this is sort of a different topic, but I talked about this a long time ago, where you can, you know, you can be okay. You know, I want you to be comfortable about being pleased and not worried about your partner being pleased. You know what? It's about you being comfortable being done. And also, you know what? Can it be just about your partner, you know what, and not about you, comfortable of doing your partner without you being done, making love and effing, okay? And those elements, can you be comfortable? And, you know, it's great you're selfish in bed. I want you to be pleased as a woman. I'm all about that. Hell to the yes. Good for your husband, okay? You know, give him props. High five. Woohoo. That's awesome. However, I'm sure he wants to be pleased too. You know what? Even a little boy inside of him is going to say, damn it, what about me? I'm not supposed to be selfish. I need to focus on her. I'm all about that. But if you focus on each other and pleasing him as well and allowing him, you know what, to be selfish once in a while. Hell, what the hell? Why not? You both will have a lot deeper connection emotionally, sexually, you know, physically and soulfully Take my word for it. You're going to feel it. It's going to feel awesome. So I'm all about that. If I take my ADD meds, I can focus. Oh, no. Okay, depending on who's it with, depends on how selfish I am. You know what? How many women out there? That's so freaking hilarious. I want to know this. Okay, right. It's just as good to give as to receive. I'm all about that. I'm all about pleasure and all that stuff. Now we're getting some joint. You need to share the live video feed on your timeline, people. I'd appreciate it. And we'll get more people joining in. Again, more people, we get more insights, and of course, we help each other as a group, okay? So, it's funny, I take my ADHD. Now, I want to know, Sophia, if your ADD meds are in, you focus on that, does that take any away of the physical pleasure of the act, too? Does it numb anything out? Or are you able to, maybe, does it enhance maybe your physical pleasure along with your emotional concentration that it helps? I'd love to know that, okay? Brenda, welcome. You're in the house. It's been a while. I get so wrapped up in the moment, I forget about him. So we have another selfish woman out there. What the hell's with all these selfish women? We take turns, but me first. You know what? Brenda, I always say that. And majority of the time, majority of the essence, I do say, men, you need to finish your woman first. Because most women, not all, are multiple orgasmic, okay? Right? So, guys, you know what? Usually we're one and done. We need some time to, get it back up, especially as we age. So you look at the element. Get your lady off first. I mentioned this on numerous shows ago. Big time, okay? I'm all about that. I want the woman to get off first, okay? And then she can get off maybe again, and again. Every woman's different, okay? So, with that being said, we have a lot of selfish damn women out there. What about him? What about pleasing him? What else? You get lost in a moment. That's what I mean. You can get lost in a moment about the physical pleasure and emotional pleasure that you get lost in each other. Now, how many women out there, and this might have to do with age, how you look, your sense of self, your how your self-esteem aspects and self-worth as it comes down to, and how much you're okay within yourself. Now, how many women out there, this happens, doesn't take away no numbing. Sophia, thank you. That was regarding the ADD meds that you mentioned. That's awesome. That's good. I don't want sexual pleasure to ever be taken away or numbed out. You look at the element women. How many women are worried about their frickin' body image? Okay, I talked about men's number one thing they think about during sex, and I don't want it to be thought about. I want you to be engrossed in each other, okay? Now, look at men as performance. A lot of women, believe it or not, most women think about how they look, about their appearance. Oh my God, are my boobs too small? Is one boob bigger than the other? Do I look, oh my God, don't touch me here. Don't look at me here because I'm fat. Don't stare at my ass because it's too big. Oh my God, my legs have freaking flab on them. They got cellulite. Oh my God, I got stretch marks. A lot of women during sex, or even maybe leading up to sex, are focused on their frickin' appearance. How many women out there is that true? Do you agree with that or no? I want to hear. I'm not a woman. I'm just hearing this from a lot of women, not just making this up, okay? I hear this from a lot of women, clients, even past friends, students that we talk about this aspect before, that, you think about your body image. And Brenda, you love my talks. Thank you so much. I love you filling it. I love you freaking adding to it, Brenda. You make it, you love it. You add to the show. You make it more fun. You make it more fun for me, and you also enlighten other listeners like Sophia, Cynthia, Treva. I don't want to ignore anybody out there. So, it helps. The show is for you out there. The Art of Relationships radio show, it's for you people out there, right? I want to help people. So, do you agree with that or don't you agree with that? Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm wrong if a lot of you women don't worry about the body image aspects, and that you, is that what you agree? And is that right? Sherry's in the house. Welcome. Cool. We're getting a lot more people, regular viewers coming in, chiming in, which is awesome. So, Sherry mentioned sometimes. Treva, man, you know what? I don't want to hear this excuse, Treva. You mentioned that's just what women do. Yes. Brenda mentioned, yes, I agree. What would it take? And in my book, the relationship guide, tools to, to ignite intimacy and, I can't even, it's my book and I freaking forgot the rest of the title. Tools to ignite love and intimacy. There we go. Oh my God. I need a drink. No. But, excuse me. You look at the elements to where, what would it take for you to change it? Just like I help you with men and help you to focus on your man, to get rid of the performance anxiety or worried about that. Focus on me. You know what? I want to feel your heart, your breath. Can men do the same thing to you? And you know what? You're here. You're beautiful. You're all this aspect. And then women get in their heads, right? No, I'm not. I'm too fat. I'm too not. What if they love you? And the men aren't even thinking about that. They're trying to connect with you, and you're worried about how you look. Oh, my God, I got this zit. I got this frickin' cellulite. I got this, whatever. Oh, my God, I didn't shave my legs. Now, make sure you shave your genital regions, ladies. I'm just saying. We don't want any guys to frickin', get stuff, choke on your fur or choke on, get stuff caught in their teeth. That was so tasteless, wasn't it? It was funny, but it was tasteless. But you look at that only if my partner is younger. Brenda, what do you mean? I wanna look when you're comfortable with the person you are with. The body issues does not bother the partner. I agree with that. That is awesome that you mentioned that. But however, what if if you think your partner is more attractive than you are? Maybe they're more in shape than you are. Maybe you feel whatever, insecure about that. They need to make you feel safe, ladies. Like I said, the men can say a certain thing. You're beautiful. I love you the way you are. I love touching you. Looking at you, I think you're beautiful. I think you're all this. But you get in your head thinking, you know what? He's lying to me. He's just lying because you're insecure with your own appearance and your own body image. You know what? I want you to be able to, this is me. I own my own sexuality. My body is what it is. And own it and get lost in the moment of the physical pleasure and the emotional connection that, that you deserve. I'm all about that. Like we already talked about, you selfish ladies out there are looking at, it's all about you and being pleasured. It's nice that you care about being pleasured, ladies, and it's not all about the guy. It's about you too. But it's about both of you, okay? So you look at, Kara mentioned, excuse me, no, sex is vulnerable for both parties. You know what? I love that. For a lot of people, that's true, and that's very wise. I think maybe you had a great teacher that brought that up. I'm teasing. I feel like if I trust you enough to be sexually intimate with you, I don't have time to focus on my imperfections. You know what? That is perfect. I love that. Our goal is to please each other, not criticize each other's bodies. That is very wise. That is emotional maturity right there. That is the essence of what I try to promote and teach with women and men all together. I'm going to read that again because, yeah, it's wisdom at its finest, okay? Sex is vulnerable for both parties. I feel like if I trust you enough to be sexually intimate with you, I don't have time to focus on my imperfections. Our goal is to please each other, not criticize each other's bodies. That's poetic, man. Can I have permission to use that as a quote? I need to share that. That is often. It's awesome. It's awesome. So I agree with that. When the focus is on each other, you get around that aspect. Then you should have sex in the dark. Hilarious. You know what, Kara? Wax. I'm all about wax. Frickin' shave that crap. You know what? Men should be all about that too. They need the manscaping. Get rid of that too. That works both ways. I don't want my lady to be choking on no frickin' fur ball down there either. So you looked at it, and Sophia mentioned, "Oh my God, hilarious! Choke on fur. You are hilarious." I don't know if I'm hilarious or distasteful or whatever. You know what? But those aspects, and what would it take? Thank you. I can use that. I'd love to post that, and if you want me to leave your name off of it, I want to give you credit for that, Kara, that you mentioned it. I think that is the essence of what I try to teach, the sexual connection between, partners, okay? And this goes for, it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. I think that it should be about two people that love each other and about the physical pleasure. I'm all about that, knocking boots, right? But those are awesome. Treva, you mentioned, when you do find that special someone who makes you feel beautiful and loved, it's called magic. I agree, and that is the essence of what I try to promote with couples in my office, outside of that's why I'm doing the Art of Relationships radio show, okay? Don't go anywhere. Keep adding your comments before. Not going to go anywhere. Going to take a little breather. I need to let my throat settle down a little bit, my voice to come back, okay? So I'm going to play a song, The Great Pretender by Skyway Traffic. Do not go anywhere, okay? Going to be right here live, and I'm going to be back in a couple minutes, people. Talk to you soon.
Waking up, kissing the floor of a bathroom stall. This isn't any way to live, no, not at all. And every one of these kids is so original. One sweet black tie with chucks and I can barely pull off the standard touch of wine. But I need to worry about it when I do it all again every night. As someone else, crashing parties, raising hell. Me, I should get some help. Start to call myself the great pretender. Don't tell me where you remember when you used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's like a character until it's a complete disaster. Till another name is spoken from your lips. When did I become so cynical? When did you become so lyrical? If only the ice beneath my ribs would crack. That's my black eye, I'm stuck, I guess. I didn't know bad luck could wear a dress. I meant I hate you when I said wish you the best. I'm a whore, stay mentioning, I'll trip down for your attention. You'll be stuck here in suspension. I start to call myself the great pretender. Tell me where you remember when you used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy character until it's a complete disaster. Till another name is spoken from your lips. So give me a sign now that this is alright now. It's all black and white now, but I just want it right now. So give me a sign now that I'm still alive now. I start to call myself the great pretender before you tell me why you remembered when you used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy character until it's a complete disaster. Till another name is spoken from your lips. I start to call myself the great pretender before you tell me why you remember when you used to stand for something more than this. I always think it's happy character until it's a complete disaster. Till another name is spoken from your lips.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Greg, Detroit's Love Guru, licensed professional counselor, relationship and sex specialist here in Metro Detroit area. Woohoo! Welcome back. We got a heated discussion going on. Everybody's getting all hot and bothered talking about shaving and, not getting fur balls stuck in your throat and all that stuff. But we're looking at, look at the interest. You mentioned, Chris is in the house. Welcome back. You know what? I want to know, you mentioned about no interest, and I want to know what does that mean to you, okay? I got lost a little bit, okay? Sophia, you mentioned, I really enjoy pleasing a guy. Oh, I just got the warm, oh my God, chills. But I have to really be into him and care about him to show him that side of me. I'm all about that. Absolutely, I'm all about that. Matter of fact, you know what? Where do you live? No, I'm being a smart ass. No, what do you look at the essence of? I'm all about that, and I think the more comfortable, the more we love somebody and feel safe with somebody, are we able to, you know what? We're able to let go. We're able to feel more safe with our own selves. We don't feel so insecure, and this goes for both men and women, okay? So a lot of women out there, do you look at the element to where, you know what would it take that you're not worried about your body image with anybody else? And it's sort of ironic because you hear a lot of people, men, you know, a lot of women that are into, they want to just do hookups. They want to do, you know, maybe a friends with benefits, whatever, where there's no emotional connection. You know, they talk about one night stands. They don't care about anything, right? They don't care how they look. They don't care. It's sort of ironic, right? Why do you have that attitude, you know, with a one night stand, but when you're in a relationship and the heart and the soul and, you know, your love is in place, why does it matter then, right? Is it, yeah, don't tell me, Greg, it's the alcohol that makes me not care. Okay, maybe that might be the case, but also, you know what would it take for you to have the essence? And I get that. Sophia mentioned that, you know, awesome, you know, very, very poetic as well as Kara did, that, you know, you're able to look at, you know what, you have to really be into that person, but when you're really into a person, whatever, you feel more comfortable, but also, you know what, I mentioned this, you know, before about guys and performance aspects, you know, when they fall in love with somebody, they're more worried about pleasing them. They're more worried about what they think and all this stuff, because if they're dissatisfied, their heart can be crushed. And I think with women, when body image issues, the same thing, when you start caring about somebody, you know, you have more at stake. You can lose. Your heart can get crushed. I want to know, ladies, what would it take for you to feel like you don't have to worry about that anymore? You just wear your own, you know, body image all over and be comfortable in your own skin. There's stuff we don't like about us. You know, there's stuff everybody don't like about us that causes problems. But what would it take for you to be comfortable in your own skin regardless? Maybe you don't like a certain part of your body, your belly, your arms, whatever, men, women. And, you know, maybe you can work on improving those. Maybe you can work on doing something about it instead of just not doing anything. So if it really bugs you, how come you're not doing something about it? Or if you're not doing anything about it, maybe don't let it bug you anymore. Just own it and wear it and go from there, okay? We mentioned when you are not comfortable with your partner, that's when the emotional connections exist during sex. Oh, I'm sorry. When you are comfortable with your partner, that's when the emotional connection exists during sex. Absolutely. I agree with that. That's, you know, well said. And that's big time, okay? But can you be emotionally comfortable with a partner, but maybe not be physically comfortable with a partner because of your own insecurities, your own body image aspects that, oh my God, I'm too fat, my boobs aren't big enough, they're too big, they're lopsided, whatever, okay? That sort of goes hand in hand. I agree with that. When you are comfortable with your partner, that's when the emotional connections exist during sex. Can you have the emotional connection during sex, but physically you're off? Or, let me put this out there just for, I want to hear some thoughts on this, that, you know what, if you're emotionally connected with that person, can the physical pleasure or physical, let's face it, awkwardness, displeasure, can that sort of take away the emotional connection? You're like, oh God, this don't feel good. But you know what, can you hold somebody, right? Not be maybe sexually with that person at that time. Can you just hold somebody and feel emotionally connected? Can you hold somebody's hand? Can you cuddle with somebody and feel emotionally connected, right? Now, but during sex, it's a different ballgame, so to speak, isn't it? Because maybe the physical pleasure, the expectations of all that can kill the emotional connection, because maybe you feel your partner is selfish. Like all you women out there being selfish, what's up with that? And also, you know what? You know, your focus on all these aspects, that the physical pleasure definitely can break the emotional connection, because you might feel like this ain't working for me, he don't care about me, she don't care about me. Maybe not only that, what about your own insecurities? If you feel like awkward during a sexual act, or you know what, your partner's just not hitting it or not making you feel pleased or feeling awkward about caressing you and sort of rushing and all this sort of, sort of hodgepodging all over the place, not knowing what they're doing, you know what? That definitely creates a block in the emotional connection and the physical pleasure as well, okay? But what can you do to get them back on track, to teach them to be emotionally connected? Here, you know what? Breathe with me, and I want to help you. I want to guide your hand. I want to guide you to how I want to be pleasured. And how many women out there are confident enough about that without their own, worried about their own appearance, to be able to teach their guy what they want, what they love, and to be able to own their own sexuality regardless of your insecurities, to be able to block them out, to leave them outside the bedroom, so to speak, to where, you know what, they're not going to affect me anymore, and I'm not going to allow that to happen because I want to be able to enjoy that. Hey, what's in the house? We got a new listener, but I'm not going to mention your name unless you give me permission on the air, okay? Usually in the moment. Can make-up sex also be considered emotional? Oh, hell yeah. Excuse me. You know what? That's an awesome question. You know what? That's an awesome, absolutely. Can make-up sex also be considered? Absolutely, because you realize the make-up sex is what? It's the animalistic pleasure, but it's also that you love each other and you want each other and you hate being disconnected emotionally. So hell yeah, make-up sex is all about the physical pleasure and also about the emotional connection. It's all in one. I'm all about that. When I mentioned about, being comfortable doing your partner, being done, making love and effing, the effing part is just that. It's the cardinal animalistic craving for one another mixed with the emotional longing and desire for each other. That's what the make-up sex is. That's awesome. I think that's phenomenal. Hell yes, make-up sex is about, or should be about, maybe I'm biased, should be about both the physical pleasure and the emotional pleasure, because you long for each other and you don't want to fight. It's that rush of mad passion. Listen to me, I'm getting all hot and bothered here. The mad passion about getting reconnected soulfully, heartfully, and body. It's all that intertwined. Hopefully that answers your question, okay? Shabbat, what's up? Welcome in the house, okay? So, no, I'm glad you're listening. So it's about all those aspects and being able to reduce the anxieties and the performance anxieties in men and realizing, ladies, what can you do to have that guy get away from, I almost said get off, get away from the, insecurities of performance, about always, worrying about being too small, too quick, not hard enough. All these aspects, focus, breathe with me. I want to feel your heart, your soul, stare at me. Those are those aspects that can help him focus, and it's going to help you feel more emotionally connected. And also, when you feel more emotionally connected, I don't know about you out there, people, but I'm going to tell you, when I feel more emotionally connected during sex, the physical pleasure is even heightened. It's even enhanced. That's me. I don't know about you, but that's for me speaking out there, okay? To be able to look at those elements, and women, take it, have the guy talk to you. I love your body. I love you. Look at me. You know what? And believe what he says, that he loves you. He focuses on you. And focus on the way he touches you. And don't focus on, oh my God, you know what? This is wrong with me. This is off with me. This is too big, too small, whatever. Focus on the way he touches you. Maybe the way he kisses you. Maybe the way he looks at you, that he does it because he wants to. He desires that. And get lost in that, the emotional engulfment that represents, okay? To get out of your own head. And that way you can focus on both that connection and the physical pleasure. And I know women out there are saying, it's all about me, Greg. I'm sexually selfish. You need to flip that script. I want you to be sexually selfish, but I also want you to be sexually pleasing, right? It's about both of you. That's awesome, okay? Sophia mentioned, hi, I've unfortunately encountered a lot of selfish men. Unfortunately, Sophia, I have heard this many times, and I'm sorry you went with that. I teach guys, and maybe it's not only, with guys that I work with over the many years I've been doing this, most guys are all about pleasing their partners. I'm not going to say all, but I'm saying most of them. And most of us guys do care about that. But if you're with someone that is all about being selfish, all about them, man, peace out. Why are you with them? You want someone that cares about you being sexually pleased, about being emotionally pleased. So you say, peace, out of here, later. It's got to be about me too. Maybe guys, maybe they're not clued in. Maybe, guys could be with someone for 10 years thinking they're awesome, they're the best lover, and because, let's face it, their ex or whatever is lying to them. They're not speaking up, which is a shame. You know what, babe? Yeah, I want you to be a better lover to me. They're afraid to crush the guy's ego. Screw that. You need to be, focus on, be confident. What can I do to please you? What can I do? And most guys are willing about that. Teach your guy. And if he ain't willing and if he's still selfish, you know what? Get him the hell out and give me a call. I mean, no, I didn't say no. Oh my God, I didn't even have anything, just coffee and water. I'm slap happy tonight, as usual. But you know what? Get someone that does care about pleasing you. That's important. That's huge, okay? Sophia mentioned, I agree. I agree, Sherry. I need that so much, and I missed that quote and what that. I wasn't seeing all the comments, so I'm missing all those comments because of the way it's set up on my end. I can't see them all. So when I was married. Irons ago, maybe years ago, it might have been a typo by Treva. My husband was a 2-minute man. He always just did his thing, leaving me hanging. After years, I became frigid. Well, no kidding, you would become frigid, Treva. And I appreciate you, putting that out there and helping other people. I get that. Again, I said, if your man is not about pleasing you and caring about your needs, why in the hell are you with them? Why would you want to have sex or make love with them if it's all about them and you're not getting anything out of it? You're just feeling like a piece of meat and a piece of ass, and it's all about them? Hell no. Get rid of them. And I'm telling you guys out there, if that's you out there, it's all about you, you know what? You need to step up your game, or you know what? You're going to be lonely. So think about what you can do to please your woman. Ask her. Care about. Don't just ask her and go through the motions. You know what? I want you to care. I want you to be genuine with your feelings and your care and your concern. That, you know what? Frickin', let's face it, it turns me on even more knowing the woman I'm with is pleased emotionally, physically, that she knows I'm into her and I care about her sexual and emotional needs, okay? Big time, okay? So that is crucial. And ladies, you deserve to be with a man that is going to show you that. But ladies, I don't want you to be selfish out there either, and you need to be able to please your man how he wants. Maybe he wants a little, finger play, with the booty hole type thing too. Some men are into that, some aren't. But maybe, Treva mentioned I'm a horn dog. Am I a horn dog? No, I want the emotional, and physical pleasure. And with me, you know what, if I'm not emotionally connected with somebody, I'm a guy. Hear me out. If I'm not emotionally connected with a woman, you know what? I don't get turned on. I'm not. You can have horny and get horny and all this. You know what? I want something with soulfulness. I want the emotional connection along with the physical pleasure, because it just becomes, I don't know if it's how I'm made, how I'm built, what I do. I think it's just how I am. I want the emotional connection as well, because I feel like something's hollow, empty, if that is not there and it's just a physical pleasure, okay? That's just me, and everybody's different, okay? Sophia, never had the pleasure of make-up sex. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know what? I'm thinking if I ever had. Not many times. So, Kara, you mentioned exactly. Your partner can tell whether you're into it to please them or doing it to get your rocks off. The sexual chemistry will be all off balance. You know what, Kara? You've had a hell of a teacher. I'm going to tell you. Anyways, you know what? That's awesome. And I'm glad you own your own sexuality and you know that and you're self-aware, and your insights are going to help other women out there, and not only help other people, but also, help women and men learn about that women's sexuality, it's important to them, and it should be important to them. And I know different cultures out there, you know what? It's all about pleasing your man. Forget about that. You know what? You deserve to be pleased too. It's about you. And, I respect cultural differences and all this stuff, but you know what? It's 2017. You deserve to be pleased. You deserve to be sexually pleased. You deserve to be licked how you want to be licked, touched how you wanted to be licked, made love to, bang, slaps, spank, whatever, however you want to be, ladies. You need to own that, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you need to find a man that is all about you and all about pleasing you sexually and emotionally. That's crucial to you, okay? Oh, Sherry, I still miss that. Anyway, Trayvon mentioned, I loved him, but years of talking, he wouldn't even get counseling with me. Finally, I fell out of love, and I get that. If somebody is not willing to be the best lover you can be, to improve your sex life, to get rid of their own insecurities and enjoy and get engulfed in the physical pleasure, to get, sort of get embraced in the emotional essence of making love and sex, both of them, then you know what? What do? It's not selfish for you to want that and crave that and have that in a relationship with you, okay? So that is not, it's not being selfish, people. It's about, you owe it to yourself. And that's part of being loved. That's part of being desired, being respected. Think about that. That's about, you have respect for yourself to want to be sexually pleased and to get rid of your own, maybe ladies, your appearance issues, your appearance insecurities, and men, you need to be able to, sort of put away and focus on your partner without worrying about your performance aspect. And if you have a hard time with that, see me, give me a call. I do Skype sessions, all over the place, all over the country. Okay, so I do those, or get help that, your insurance covers. I'm all about that. Get help. Don't be embarrassed. I get a lot of guys, that they care about pleasing their partner. And, I see guys on a weekly basis that have maybe performance issues. I get it. And it takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage. But you know what? I want to be better. And there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that takes a lot of guts and confidence. And if a guy isn't willing to get help and work with you on it, then maybe, you know what? That guy isn't for you. You want someone that's going to work with you on a team. Now, I'm going to flip that script around, ladies. Men, that goes for you too. If that woman isn't willing to work with you and to enhance your emotional connection and your physical pleasure during sex, you know what? Maybe you're with the wrong partner. And I'm not talking extremes. Somebody could be in the S&M, whips and chains, and we all know that Chains and Whips Excite Me by Rihanna. Then if that's important to you, then maybe you need to be with a partner that is. And if that's not you, then you shouldn't, don't try to fake it and be with someone that's crucial to them. You need to find somebody out there that is on the same page with you, the same desires, the same, maybe sexual flavors, sexual tastes that you have on the emotional and physical level. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just peace out. You know what? I'm not into that. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed about that. Okay? Own your own sexuality. Peace and love, everybody else. Thank you so much to the new visitors, the new viewers, new listeners to the show out there. I'm very flattered. I'm very much appreciated, and I'm humbled, okay? I never take you for granted. Like I said, the show, as you know, a lot of people know, I do this for free. I don't have sponsors. I do this for free. It's another way to help you out there. Now, with that being said, if you want those sponsors and want to sponsor the show, hit me up. I'm all about that, okay? So, peace and love. Keep working to have the relationship you crave. And if you're not in a relationship, learn about yourself. Learn about your own sexual identity, your own what is important to you to feel loved, to feel respected, to feel like a priority, and own that. Don't be ashamed of that, okay? Peace and love to everybody out there. And everybody, you have a good night. Happy hump night to everybody else, okay? Again, thank you so much. Peace and love to everybody out there. Thanks again for listening.